This podcast contains spoilers.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Marvel's Inhumans. This is Season 1, Episode 7, Havoc in the Hidden Land. I am your host, Jacob, and with me today I have my co-host, Chrissy.
Hello.
And down there we have Rachel.
What's up?
Okay.
Hello.
Let's start out with something we've always been wondering and, a little certain somebody who was supposed to be there, who disappeared like within 10 minutes of the first episode, is finally back.
Yeah, couldn't say I was surprised to see Triton swim up to them at the beach. But
he was
nice.
ruling the underground. He was ruling the waters.
I mean...
And Ray had 7 daughters.
Yes.
For someone who'd lived on the moon his entire life, who probably only ever swam in a swimming pool,
Yeah.
the ocean was probably really freaking nice.
Yeah.
It probably was. He was probably just exploring everything. He still had a bullet wound, so we know hasn't been that long. It's only been a couple days.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure the salt water really cleaned up that wound, though. Salt killed everything.
I would imagine.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? It sounds funny, but just the little things we had of him in this episode, he's become my favorite character. I like him.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that's a good thing because we had just lost another character from the last episode. So, or so we think. No, really dead or not? I don't know.
Cornac's going a little crazy.
He is.
Yeah.
Well, grief does different things to different people, so not exactly surprised.
No, but we had Triton apparently had this plan with Black Bolt that in case shit hit the fan, then meet up at this place.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Medusa was not happy.
No.
No. And the whole time she was just bitching at him about it, I'm like, get off your high horse.
I know, and Black Bolt's just giving her that look like, bitch, please. I don't tell you everything.
I totally understand, too, because he's her husband, and she expects to be in on everything. But covert ops, my dude.
There's some things especially in this, what's going on. The less people that know, the better.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as Medusa annoys me, it doesn't annoy me as much as, fucking Triton. I do like him, but what the fuck were you doing this entire time?
Exploring the ocean. I don't fucking blame him, because it's better than what Crystal is fucking doing.
Oh, yeah, but...
Oh, I don't blame her. I mean, come on, she's been basically secluded into her own little thing. So the first person to give her attention, she's like, ah! Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah,
I get that too. But then there's also your cousin just died. A family member just died. And you're sitting there sad. I miss my boyfriend I've known for 12 hours.
Not even a boy.
like that.
It was more
48, 36, something like that.
Count as a boyfriend.
Right?
Couple days. Still, I'm just alright, fine. You're 16, whatever.
I mean, what Medusa said isn't wrong. She's the queen and she wants a joint, either they do it together, they don't do it at all.
Yeah.
That's not just king queen thing. That is a marriage thing. You know what I mean? You have to be able to trust it. But I understand why he did it too, because the more people that know, the more chances of someone getting hurt or tortured trying to get that information out of you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, also the more chances his wife would get hurt, like, that she would get
Mm-hmm.
hurt if she knew. So.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, there are more secrets. So apparently there's a secret plate on Adam.
Secret place. It's the bunker. No one's supposed to know about it.
Yeah. But it's basically a panic room where apparently does not know about it at all, which is the point. And then like Medusa's still pissed off about that. You know, what the fuck ever, get over yourself.
Yeah.
It's really weird because she was all for, showing them that we are the king and queen, but then all of a sudden she's like turned, we can't kill everyone, we can't, we have to show, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, and the role reversal just kind of tripped me out. It was just like, okay, where's this coming from?
Yeah, her like spin around, like she's bouncing off of each wall in terms of what her characterization is, and it's kind of bumming me out. It's making me like not really care about her, which sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the time where things kind of turned around. I think it's when she realized, was kind of when people started dying. She was like, wait a minute, this, like, oh crap. Or when Locust was talking to him about it. I think that's kind of when she stepped back and looked at how they treated people as king and queen kind of thing. You know what I mean? So maybe that was her turnaround, but they didn't make it very clear. So it was it felt like it was just out of the thin air. So I don't know. It's just weird seeing them flip roles like that. Mm-hmm. And I understand where Black Bolt's come from, wanting to hurt everyone because he's pissed off at his brother for, Gorgon's death and everyone else who died and stuff like that. Even people that were coming after him, they were still his people and he didn't want them to die.
Yeah.
So I understand. So it's a little bit weird. The writing could be a lot better. A little more explanation. They only had so many episodes.
Yeah. Show's almost over. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, it's almost over.
Well, I think I've realized over the course of this show that I don't like Medusa. Which really sucks. Like I wanted to like these characters, and I find myself liking Black Bolt a little bit more. We have Medusa just, saying she doesn't want to be his like interpreter anymore. She wants to like, get off and do shit.
I don't think Black Bolt likes her being his only interpreter either. Honestly, they should just teach people his sign language and then.
Well, yeah, because he was like doing the sign language to everyone else, and then everyone just like looks at her, and he's doing it to someone like expecting them to understand, and then they look at her, and so it's kind of demoralizing. Kind of makes them little, you know what I mean?
I think I would like Medusa more if she had ideas. Like
instead of just being really bossy and getting really angry. That's her character. Like
Mrs. the Queen, what would you like to do? Instead of yelling at me that I'm doing shit wrong.
Yeah.
It's like they were only in Hawaii for what, maybe a day, maybe 2 days, and all of a sudden she's like, I've learned things from being on Earth. You weren't there very long, girlfriend. To change your whole entire world.
To veer a little bit to the left, I loved this episode. I feel especially Black Bolt was like very forcefully signing, like with more force than before, and I found that it tickled me. It was very fun.
I know.
Like no one can hear you.
Like,
and then she gives him that look like, I know. They're yelling at each other. They're
yelling at each other.
They're having an argument.
They're having a domestic.
Does she look pretty?
And in his head, he's like, I could just tell you what I feel, but you would die. But then I might feel better, but then you'd be dead.
And then I'd feel a lot worse.
Yeah.
I will say to Medusa's credit, she is against killing Maximus because Black Bolt just has it, locked in his mind, like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy.
Mm-hmm.
But, as, they point out, maybe killing me at a peace meeting is not the best option.
Yeah.
Now, I think I would have loved the show more if it was like more of this. Like, you could make politics interesting.
Yeah.
And I like when brothers talk.
Mm-hmm.
I like in shows when like brothers can just sit down and talk. If Black Bolt and Maximus, well, they can't talk per se, but like communicate somehow.
Yeah. I would love if if even Maximus knew his sign language.
Yeah, that's why I was like, how did he go all the time not knowing how to talk to his own brother?
Well, I mean, I think he went through Terrigenesis, his parents died, and they locked him up.
But we don't know what the time span was. But I mean, still, from when then, they had to unlock him. That sounds really bad. He had to have come out.
Yeah.
At some point. But they grew up together.
Yeah, but by the time that they let him out, Medusa, I mean, they only let him out, I think, because Medusa went in there and proved that he wasn't a danger.
Yeah, but they still had time. But yeah, I don't know. I just find it weird that he can't talk to his own brother.
His own brother, his cousins, who he seems closer to than his brother. Nobody but Medusa.
Mm-hmm.
Well, poor Karnak. It's like Gorgon with his other half. And so it's like he lost a limb. So he's kind of going,
just, we had Maximus, taking, the DNA from all the other Inhumans, to give himself powers. Well, now we have Karnak sort of doing something similar to that. He's trying to take the healing factor and try to apply that to Gorgon's dead body to see if he could bring him back.
Secondary Genesis.
Mm-hmm. And in this episode, I know, snap Oren's neck. He's there like, why did you kill her? She'll come right back. I love that part. That was hilarious.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But
and because it's also interesting to us as the audience because we're like, she might not though. You might have actually killed her.
But Maximus didn't know. I was wondering if I was going to have to wake you up or something because I guess it sounded like it took a little longer than it usually does.
Yeah.
But she seems to realize that maybe she's been backing the wrong person the whole entire time.
Yeah. Well, she's like, I only followed you because I thought you could lead us, not because you would get something that you wanted out of this.
You wanted to be like us. It's like, I don't know. It's weird. It's like she doesn't. It's not necessarily she's with Black Bolt and them, but she's not against them so much anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's stuck in the middle.
Yeah. And I mean, I like to what she said, Maximus did have a point. It's like, no. You shouldn't respect me because I did this despite of what I am. You should respect me because I am king, so fuck you. Yeah, right?
And we did find out she's scared of needles, which is...
Yeah, that was a weird detail to include.
But that was funny. I like the fact that he was talking to Gorgon. Like, the head of the Royal Guard is scared of needles.
Yeah, because he doesn't see Gorgon as dead. He sees him as, this is his second Terrigenesis. He's gonna come back.
He's only mostly dead.
Only mostly dead. Just need to give him... oh, God.
Chocolate-covered hazelnut.
Yeah, that...
It's the chocolate-covered hazelnut. The coating makes it go down easier.
Makes it go down easier.
Yeah. But yeah, this place, I don't know, this episode was kind of like all over the place. In a way.
Well, let's go back to Maximus.
Your favorite character.
Yeah, our favorite character. Maximus and Black Bolt. Black Bolt says to Maximus, like, okay, I won't kill you now. Not now. But maybe later.
Maybe later.
Well, Maximus goes back. He's like, I'm going to my room. And then, then we have Triton looking, fucking badass with his, little blades that he's holding. And just starts
Very
fighting
Assassin's
everybody.
Creed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was very Assassin's Creed. That's cool.
He had the hood. He had the knives. He was just walking up behind. Shrink.
Yeah.
And they're dropping. No one's seeing this shit going on.
Yeah. Yeah, but then
it was awesome.
Yeah, but then he just flings them to the side and like, okay, we're gonna handle this like men. And just use our because that's how you get things done. But maybe the blades would have been easier, but whatever. I
do love the fact that Maximus thought he was going to take on Triton.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, yeah, no. I love it. He like kicked it, or he kneed him in the chest or punched him in the chest like with all his might, and Triton just stood there like, bitch, please, and kicked him. That was the end of it. He was like, really? I was shot. I was living in the ocean. I fell off a cliff. I don't think that's going to hurt me. Right.
Well, I think Triton would have killed Maximus had not been for this little thing that Maximus claims that he did, where if he's killed...
Sorry.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so he says that there is a device somewhere, I don't know how, that's somehow connected to him, that if he dies, Adelan will blow up, basically.
We've seen this kind of situation in another show of ours, where the destruction of something was impended someone living.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's a very common bad guy move too.
But I also feel like Maximus is bluffing.
He might be.
Because I really don't think he has that much power. I think people are only going with him because they don't want to die. Mm-hmm. People are only standing with him because they don't want to get killed. They don't want to be in the wake.
And maybe if he is bluffing, then good on you for thinking of that. If you thought of that on the fly, then great job, Maximus. That's why I love you.
Yeah. Well, he's not. Yeah, he's a little crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not something that Black Bolt's going to want to test.
Probably not.
It's not a risk you want to take.
Not unless he can get his people safe.
Well, if he can, if he isn't lying, and there's actually, something that will blow up the entire planet, then I think this is a way for us to get everyone off of Adelan and have them move somewhere else, possibly in a spaceship, or maybe they'll just move to a different planet, and maybe this is how that ties into S.H.I.E.L.D. that we're getting later.
Maybe.
After this show ends.
God, I freaking hope so.
So they have to tie it in somehow. So I think maybe if Adelan is going to get destroyed, then they need to get everyone off the planet, or maybe they just let everyone die. I don't know. But we gotta, get that connection in somehow. And I think this is probably gonna do it.
I don't know what you guys want, but I want an underwater city.
That's what
I want.
Now, but they don't even have a budget. They have the budget of a ham sandwich on this show. Do you think they're gonna get an underwater city?
I don't care. It's what I want. My wants are illogical.
Sorry, is there a Marvel equivalent to Aquaman? I don't know.
Sure, there is.
I feel like, you know what?
There's always if there's a DC superhero, there's always their counterpart on Marvel and vice versa. So I was just wondering. I've never heard. But that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. That kind of be an interesting way. That would be a way for them to keep hidden, but be in a safe spot. Be in a different place.
There is Namor.
Oh.
He's Prince of something under the sea. But I don't. Besides the fact that Namor is a dick and he shows up in a lot of different comics for a variety of different reasons just to be a dick, that's all I know about Namor. I don't know where he comes from, what his deal is.
He just shows up to be an ass and then
he
leaves.
really does. Consistently.
One of those,
I love
is
Namor.
he like men's you've never heard of?
Yeah.
Wait, what is he? Is he a mutant or what? What is he?
No, I don't remember. I just know he shows up and he's a dick. But he does show up in X-Men a lot.
Okay, maybe he is a mutant, I don't know.
He just shows up. I'm high. I'm an asshole and leaves.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
He's one of those,
yeah.
You don't invite to the party, but it's like, I'm showing you anyway, because like, I just assumed that I was invited, but I wasn't.
But yeah, I mean, it'd be an interesting way to, bring them here and not have the whole world freak out because there's all these Inhumans that are coming and being freaked out, scared, but but still keep the people safe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone has seen Thor Ragnarok, then maybe it might be that situation. But I think if Catalan is not going to be destroyed, well then what are we going to do? Are we going to stay here and wait for people to come to us? Are they going to go back to Earth? Are they going to colonize? I want to see how this is going to work. Or maybe Adelan will get destroyed and maybe they'll build a new city on. Take Adelan and push it somewhere else, whatever you want to do.
I mean, they have the technology to cloak themselves, so I don't see why they couldn't do it on Earth either.
Or maybe
some remote place.
Back to Hawaii and
Hawaii. Because there are places in Hawaii that are pretty remote that no one really goes to. So, but
like that weed farm.
Weed farm.
Maybe we can go back to that planet that Hive was on back in S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm still wondering about that
awful, terrible planet. It was pretty bad.
But it wasn't. One time it wasn't horrible.
Yeah, but it's awful now.
There was a city there, but it was only bad because Hive was there.
Well, it was bad because Hive was there, but Hive killed the planet. That planet's dead.
Yes, things on the planet are dead, but maybe eliminate it. I don't know.
Maybe if you leave that planet alone for a couple hundred years, it'll grow back, and then you can go and live there. But I think now it's kind of a terrible place to live.
I always wondered what the planet was and what was it like before Hive got there, and I thought it was going to tie into this show that maybe when Inhumans are banished, maybe that's where they go. Or if there was another, maybe they were there before and they moved over here, or there was another royal family and they were there. I don't know. I want more answers.
Was it the Kree that was on that planet?
I don't know if it's Kree.
Yeah, it was inhabited. He said my race, and it was inhabited, and it was a major it was a thriving planet, and something happened. And I can't remember that. Well, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I mean, you never know.
Maybe that was the Kree who settled there, and Hive was on Earth, correct? He was on Earth first.
Yeah, and that's where he was born and became Inhuman.
He was banished to that planet.
Yeah.
By they fucked up humans who were afraid of everybody, but had a reason to be afraid of this guy. And I'm just wondering, was it there that he found the civilization there and killed it, or was the civilization there while he was banished there and they were just starting out? I want to know, or maybe.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, because
but now that I think about it, Hive was probably the reason, the Inhumans thought to go to Adelan in the first place.
Or maybe that too.
Because whenever anyone says it, they're like, oh yeah, the humans got
scared
of us, and we, for everyone's protection, went away. What if the catalyst was Hive getting sent away? And they were like, oh, I don't want that to happen to me. Let's go make a home very far away from humans.
Yeah, all right. How far? Let's go to the moon.
Let's go to the moon. Yeah.
The Kree bunch of experiments on other life forms, not just humans. It just seemed to be this, well, not successful in their eyes, but like they made something.
Well, I think it was a success, but then the Kree government changed, and that initiative was no longer looked at
needed.
Yeah, exactly, as a viable plan for them. So they abandoned it. I think it was successful, technically.
Well, they didn't need the army anymore.
I mean, it was a success, but like in the comics anyway, they labeled the Inhumans as failures. I don't exactly remember why. I do want to see a couple of Kree and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I was kind of hoping if this does get picked up for season 2, maybe we can explore more about the Kree, and maybe we can find out, well, what was your reasoning for doing those experiments? Like, what was your end goal? Like, we know that ultimately they wanted to make an army. That's in the comics anyway. But like, what do these Kree want, and what were their intentions? And like, are there other?
And everyone on Adelon, and they have word of mouth history. They don't have concrete. I mean, we've found out when Karnak wanted to put Gorgon back in, and it's like, you can't go back for a second Genesis. It can make you crazy, blah, blah. And he's like, you don't know that. It's been stories. No one's been proof that because no one's done it. And so that comes to, it's kind of like, everyone didn't drink out of like that well because some ancestors said it was poison or something, but you don't know for sure. It's just word of mouth kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's just oral history. No one's ever tried it because they're afraid to.
And I think that's what I wanted from the show is the history. Give me history on Inhumans. Give me history on the Kree, and
they didn't do that.
Maybe in this context in the MCU, maybe ultimately what they're leading up to, and like this is just me speculating. Maybe they're leading up to the Kree-Skrull War, where the Kree were in war with the Skrulls, and so they made the Inhumans. But then the Inhumans turns out like wasn't working for them, so like they tried something else.
There's a lot of I shouldn't say a lot of. There are some theories in the MCU right now where they're like they're already setting up a Skrull invasion.
I mean, I've seen theories about like, pretty much the theory for like every single character about why they act the way they act and how they could be a Skrull. But
yeah.
But I mean, this for people that are just coming in and maybe just watching this. I'm watching this show Inhumans as someone not really knowing any background or anything about them, and just knowing them by name. Never read any of the comics. I've never, anything, because they're not, they're not Captain America. They're not all these other ones about because they're out there in the front.
Mm-hmm.
So me coming in, I'm left with more questions. And I'm like, well, how did they, they're like, oh, we came here, but it's like, what's your history? What, why was her parents against this, and how were they friends, and why were they exiled? I mean, they're not giving you any of this. So as a person just coming in not knowing, you're just like, oh, okay, I'm just supposed to go along with this is how it is. And you're like, there's no explanation for anything. So they all say, it's been done like this for years, but why has it been done that way for years?
Well, because they don't know themselves. And
yeah. But they never really, they kind of said it, but they've just been like dancing around it. I mean, if they said, we don't do this because our ancestors said it would do this, this, and that, and the other thing, and this, maybe there is a written history saying they have tried it and this is what happened. Mm-hmm. But they don't say that.
And I think ultimately what I wanted from the show is I wanted to know more about Inhumans, and I find myself asking more questions. And for Inhumans, I don't know anything about the Inhumans. At least not these ones.
No, we don't. That's what I was wondering. It's like we want to know more about the Inhumans, and they're not giving us information about them. They're just giving us a story about them.
Yeah.
Not anything about them.
And in fact, we have the Inhumans on S.H.I.E.L.D, who are new Inhumans. And then we have the Inhumans on Adeland, which are old Inhumans. History Inhumans. So now we have 2 Inhumans we know even less about, kind of.
Well, these Inhumans, I consider them like the original gene pool of Inhumans. That's what I consider them as. Mm-hmm. But the Inhumans that we have on Earth, they're still Inhumans. They're just...
a lot of humans in between.
They have... I think these ones are like, I guess, quote-unquote, purebred Inhumans. And the ones that we have here on Earth, they're mixed with Inhuman DNA and human DNA. But I think if you have just like a little tiny bit of... How it works in the comics, if you have a tiny bit, just a little bit of Inhuman in you, you will go through Terrigenesis and you will get powers, or you will like look fucking ugly, however, Faith wants to.
I mean, and we've already been established when the doctor, the professor, whatever, when he did look at Bolt's DNA and he compared it with other Inhumans from Adeland, he was like, their DNA isn't very different from each other. So we know that there's a lot of, lack of different better word, inbreeding in it, because they're on. I mean, there has to be. They're all related at some capacity, because they've been on this planet, they've been on the moon in this little bubble. So there's going to be
a lot of.
There's going to be a lot of it, so.
I do want to talk about the end of the episode, because, again, more questions. I want to know how this shit works. We have fucking Gorgon, who was dead, but now he's not dead, and he's not... Something's not right.
So maybe the stories are true, but they just didn't give us any reason to believe them.
This is like what happens when you try to do this shit again. Like, no, nobody does this. Not because no one has done it before, but because we have done it before, and
it's
people go
stupid.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, they just said, they didn't say, they've done it before, so they know that, they didn't give us that explanation. They just said, they said it will do this. Well, is there written? You know what I mean? I don't know. It just seemed very. Well, how do you know? Just because it's written out saying this will happen, how do you know? Did they say that they have tried it?
It also
kind of thing.
Just at face value sounds like a really bad idea. So I mean,
it does.
Maybe they had a
does.
point.
It really does.
What's the bad idea in this universe?
I do love that, Max was, when he found out all the DNA from all the Inhumans on Earth, he's like, well, tell me what all they do, and I'm going to pick.
And
he's like,
the doctor's just like,
what? I'm going to pick what power I want.
I love that so much. He's like, I don't think that's how it works.
He's like, he's realizing, he's just like, I don't know. I don't, oh God, what did I get myself into?
Doesn't sound right.
He's like, what did I get myself into? Even when, after, when Gorgon came out of his thing, and he's like, well, maybe if I say because Max said I could be here because he's the king. That's all he knows. What's going on, And but yeah, he didn't believe that they were on the moon, and Medusa was just like giving him so much sass about it. And it's just like, okay, you got to figure out. It's really hard for him to realize that he just zapped to the moon from Earth. One minute he's with a dog and the family on the beach. Next minute he's in the moon.
Yeah, and that whole the whole part taking him to the moon, I was just like, so you're not gonna take your new friend who really wanted to go to the moon? But you're gonna take this scientist who doesn't even realize until he's there that he's going to the moon. So you kind of have kidnapped this man.
That I understand now why they did, because they were going to use him. They were using him as a bargaining chip.
Yeah, still messed up.
It's still messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was just like, he's realizing Well, like you said, I had no idea. I've never met Maximus. He was just the one funding everything. I have no clue about him. It's like maybe you should do a little research on people, maybe ask some more questions.
What could you possibly do? The fucking man lives on the moon.
I know, right? He's the man on the moon.
So let us review the facts. Okay, so we're back on the moon. We're back in Adelan. Maximus, not the king anymore. Medusa's still a bitch. And Gorgon was dead, not anymore, but he's not the same, and he's kind of like a bumbling idiot at this point. Which
well, we don't know too much. He just looks like a bull, like he's pissed off.
Yeah.
Gornak is getting his powers back, but he's a little he's a little touched right now.
You try being, awoken from the dead when you're not supposed to come back.
No. Gorgon. He's Gorgon.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Gorgon.
Karnak. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Gorgon.
No, he's getting his powers back, which is good.
Yeah.
But in a good way, he's taken things that he's learned on Earth, and he even said that to Aurum and stuff like that, and that he's learned about himself, which is good. What's really weird is that he's like a supposedly kind of minor character, but he's had the most growth in this whole season.
Which is not how you do character growth with your damn main characters, though.
But his character growth, I actually really liked it. It came very natural, and it was kind of nice. But it's not the right person.
Can he be the main character? Can we switch out these roles, please?
Right.
I love Black Bolt. He just hasn't had a lot to do.
He hasn't had a lot to say.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
He has a lot to say. He's kind of quiet on the subject. No, but you think with all the technology, he would have like at least a speaking spell or something.
I swear that's got to be something that happens at the end of the season.
He needs at least an iPad. They have these fancy bracelets that can talk to each other. Why?
Right? Yeah.
the speak and spell from play school. Can we please just like I found this like earthly treasure. It's fucking speak and spell.
And I've had something. I bet you if he got something like that, he'd be like, yes, and he'd be like, type. You know, I could just totally see him like that.
Or remember Clio, you remember in Legion when we had like that thing in David's head, him talking to his British self.
Yes.
We have that, something like that, please, for Black Bolt. That'd be interesting.
Oh my god. Yeah. Black Bolt was the one who's going a little crazy and he's talking to himself in his head. Oh. Yes.
We have that, and we just have blackboards all across in his mind, in his.
I would love to hear Anson Mount do a British accent. He's not British, is he?
I don't
know. I mean, can you imagine all the pent up things you want to say to someone, and you can't because you can't say anything? Oh God, can you? Finding an outlet for that would probably be such a cathartic release for him.
When he finally screams at Thanos.
Something that he could do with his mouth. But he needs like an iPad. He needs an iPad, text to speak or something like that. He needs something like that. I'm sorry. As much as his facial expressions and his hard styling, beaten, he needs that outlet. He needs an iPad. At least an iPhone. Come on, someone.
But
do we not think about this?
So the voice settings, it just like sets itself to like angsty teen, and he can't change it back.
Right. But yeah, no. I mean, yeah. There needs to be something else. There needs to be someone else. I just can't believe that all these people grew up together and they work so closely with each other, but no one else knows how to communicate with him but her. it's unbelievable. I don't know. It just makes it very unbelievable.
I mean, maybe he didn't trust them, but I don't know why he wouldn't.
He wouldn't. He trusted, Triton with this secret, so he trusted them, obviously, but he still doesn't know how to communicate with them.
It's honestly,
bugs me.
I feel like he tried to communicate with them, to have them learn his language, but it's a language. Like, if you're not prepared to put the work in to learn a new language, you're not going to learn that language.
I don't know. I mean, there's other ways to communicate. I mean, he could be writing, and like we said, they have the little communicators. I mean, why can't he be typing? Why can't it be like they're supposedly an advanced, civilization in a way, and they don't have something that can read his mind and like very, Stephen Hawking, yes, you know what I mean? Read his mind and have something say what he's thinking. It just, I don't know. It just bugs me. I mean, I know what they're trying to, his acting ability without talking is really amazing. And I give him props for doing that, because it has to be probably one of the hardest things to do, is to be an actor, but you can't say anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just figured that them being this advanced civilization, why they didn't have a technology that he could communicate with his subjects. It's kind of like one of those beliefs that I can't just say okay about.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, there's a lot of problems with this show that I don't even want to get into. That's going down a whole nother rabbit hole. But we have one more episode, and maybe this will be the one that changes my opinion on this damn show. But
I'm going to be honest now. I didn't catch the last 10 minutes of this episode because I couldn't fucking be bothered because I've been so busy. So I just read the end of the synopsis and I was caught up. And I didn't have a problem.
Yeah, okay.
And really what I want Black Bolt to yell at somebody. And destroy something. It's what I waited for.
Why do you have to get angry and just, get pissed off and say something to something? Not necessarily maybe directed at someone. Maybe they're behind him and he just says something outright like, no, that's not what I said. Or no, that's not what I meant. Or you're not listening. Something, and maybe blow something else away. You know what I mean? It's something that's not going to hurt anyone. But, because he looks like he's angry when he's talking to her. He looks like he's frustrated. Oh, and it frustrates me looking at him being frustrated.
But maybe good job. He's, if an actor can do that, he's doing his job. But
well, the acting necessarily isn't bad. It's the writing, and you really don't have to. There is no writing for him, except for he looks menacing eyebrows. Concentrating.
Yeah, he's got those furrowed brows at all times.
Yeah, I mean,
it's my favorite.
Yeah, I want him just to get pissed off and.
They're saving it up. Well, at the very least, they're saving that for the final episode. Next episode is called ... and finally, Black Bolt.
And finally!
Which makes me think,
Now's
maybe
Now's time. He's going to get pissed off.
Okay, so little synopsis. The final showdown between Black Bolt and Maximus takes an unexpected turn, and I don't know where the fuck they're going to go with that. I want it to be fucking interesting if you're clever enough to pull it off.
I don't know.
Maybe they'll...
If it's going to be going into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., maybe whoever gets put in there, maybe they'll expand more. They'll be able to expand more on that character.
God, I hope so.
And then maybe people will be more interested in seeing a second season of Inhumans. But right now, it doesn't look good because nothing's explained. You're just supposed to go with it, and you're supposed to be just like, okay, that's how it is. But as people that are doing these shows, and we have to look at them, and someone that like me that has never read any of these people's comics. I don't know anything about them, and I still don't know anything about them, really, besides what their position in life was.
And I'm not really...
I don't know any details of their life, except for, Crystal was locked away and she didn't have any friends really, and just minor things that are insignificant.
Little minor things that we make fun of them for because it's such a Disney movie. And I think once we get into S.H.I.E.L.D., once this is integrated into S.H.I.E.L.D., and maybe I'll like it more.
My fear is that S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to pull what S.H.I.E.L.D. constantly pulls, which is it's not going to be as integrated as we think it's going to be.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it might be like for the first couple episodes and then it just kind of fades out. And you're like, what happened to them?
They go.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope they don't do that.
As great as the Winter Soldier tie-in was, that they led with their strongest and they pulled a Shyamalan and I wouldn't take that back because I think that's the best, but nothing after that lived up at all.
Well, I would say S.H.I.E.L.D. does great with integrating smaller stuff. Mm-hmm. The big events that the big events that have happened in the greater MCU, they haven't really... It's always been after Winter Soldier. It's always been like, we mentioned this thing. We acknowledge that it happened. Repercussions, we're not really seeing. But when it comes to smaller little tie-ins, they're good with that. Like with the Lady Sif episodes are some of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, they do little things. And then you're like, but then they do stuff in S.H.I.E.L.D. and then you go watch the movie and you're like, but wouldn't they know that Coulson's alive, kind of thing? Or wouldn't they know, it's kind of like, as much as they say, oh, they're not related, we're not going to put, this and there and that, but they are. As much as you want to keep them separate, you can't.
At the very least, you got to integrate like the Marvel, well, at least the network Marvel shows. Connect, you can, because like there was barely any Agent Carter references in S.H.I.E.L.D.
I mean, the SSR building and all those files, that was...
But that was such an opportunity to like go into the history, like, what was this building used for? Like, what agents were in this?
I mean, they did a little bit of that with the flashback with Peggy and Dum Dum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but, it's still... If they would have done more, yeah. I think Carter would have been around a lot more.
I don't think that's why Carter died. I think ABC executives got scared, and that's why Carter died.
Well, I think
probably
the reason why Carter died is because the CEO of at ABC was changing. Got a new person in, and they just canceled a bunch of shows. Carter, unfortunately, being one of them. But I think with this show, maybe if we can integrate it into S.H.I.E.L.D. and we have people, there are some people who don't even watch this show, but they do watch S.H.I.E.L.D. Mm-hmm. And if we integrate some of the characters and some of the plot lines from this, put it into S.H.I.E.L.D. and make these characters interesting to where we want to see more of them, then maybe we can too.
Yeah. We'll have to see what they do.
Maybe get the showrunner would not do fucking Iron Fist.
It's sad when they sit there and they're like, even directors of the movie or whatnot, or producers of the movie, well, they're not tied to S.H.I.E.L.D. on the TV. You could say that, but it's not a thing. They are tied together, whether you like it or not. Mm-hmm. And to ignore it and not play up on it is a big loss. It's a big, big, big loss for them. And right in their pocketbooks too. Because this could be a big thing. This could be an amazing thing for TV in general. Having a TV show, but then relating it to a movie and vice versa. To have this combination, it could be a huge thing. But they're just missing the boat on it.
The executives just don't get along, and that's really the main problem. And you just stop, play nice, and maybe we can get something great.
Well, once they got money rolling in, they'd be all happy with each other.
No, but they don't want to try.
They
So,
don't want to try.
well, okay, so we have one more episode, and we'll see how it goes, and we'll see what our ultimate thoughts are at the end of all this, and we'll see how it goes. And from there, maybe we could, we'll get back into S.H.I.E.L.D. And hopefully S.H.I.E.L.D. does better than what this show did. But we still got one more episode to judge.
I just want to jump into February for Black Panther. That's what I'm looking to the future for is Black fucking Panther.
Oh, because I need some substance, but I think that's all we have for now. I'm exhausted at this point from watching this damn show.
I know.
So with that has been our show. Hey, Christy, where can the people find you?
They can find me at Clio on Twitter and Twitch.
And Rachel, where can the people find you?
They can find me at Viking Witch 76 on Twitter and right here on Twitch at Viking Witch.
Great. And you can find me and all of my giggles and gore and monsters and mayhem here on Twitch. I'm also on Twitch now. Yay, I finally made an account. And on YouTube at Jacob Salazar, or you can find me on Twitter or tweeting me throughout the life at ToNorland. That is TONOWHERELAND. Join the Norland Society. We will be doing all of our live shows here on Twitch. If you haven't already, you can go follow us. And don't worry, we are still going to be having all of the shows up on YouTube, but the live shows will be here from now on. So follow us everywhere at ASOTV Podcast.
The dark side.
This is the dark side.
We've come to the dark side.
And we have snacks.
We have snacks! Snacks? I got sun chips.
Yeah, great. Where did that outro go? I don't know.
I would have coffee, but that's gone. All right.